Everybody. Okay, save. Okay, save. All right, cool. We're live on YouTube. Okay. All right, we're live on YouTube. Let's announce it. Sorry. It's taking so long. Let's put Powell on. Where is it? Here. Where are you, Powell? Where are you, Jerome? Here we go. Okay. 222. I'm streaming. The stream is working. Everyone can see the stream, right? What's up? Where's Discord? Bro, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that my mic was muted, but yeah, can you guys hear it? Like, is this... The audio sucks here. Oh my god, this is terrible. CNBC, CBS.
Not achieve a sustained...
Fuck. So as always, guys, I'm gonna watch, what's going on here. Obviously, share my commentary, do a little breakdown, answer some questions. So stick around, pay attention, yeah, and soak up some information. Floating. I'm floating $57,000 in profit right now. Okay, so I have something important to share with you all. Let's put it that way.
To understand where it is that we are doing well and where we do have room for improvement, but ultimately to make the paradigm shift in economic development to people-centered, place-based economic. We've done that, and some of what we'll talk about today are really the fruits of that labor. We really shifted to sort of a couple of focus areas. One is let's build the quality community that talented people want to live in, can attract and retain talented workforce. Let's focus on growing career pathways and reducing barriers to employment. And then let's enhance the culture of entrepreneurialism and innovation. And a couple examples that I give of those overarching themes of this plan were really a lot of what we'll talk about today. We recognize in that plan that York County lags the state and national average in the birth rate of small businesses. And the reason for that is access to capital, access to resources, education, and opportunity. That led us to create the Bloom Business Empowerment Center, which is now emerging CDFI, to really drive those resources to our small businesses throughout the county. We're now proud to say we've raised $7 million in capital to deploy. Over $400,000 has been deployed in small business grants to small businesses across the county, with a majority of those grants being awarded to businesses owned by women or individuals of color in low and moderate income communities. We've tackled bridging the digital divide through an investment of $27 million by our county government to deploy 144 miles of middle mile fiber and build 2 wireless networks that are free in the York Metro and Hanover Metro area. And the work that we've been doing with the Philly Fed has really led us to focus on those barriers to employment stability. Issues like childcare, transportation, again, issues that existed prior to COVID-19, but were just compounded. And the work that our team and the New York community has done for a national cohort with the Philly Fed has really been immeasurable and has led to a lot of the work that you're seeing today. Here we sit as we focus on some of the people-centered programs. We also focus on building place. And where we sit here today in the Yorktown Hotel, a $70-ish million economic development project in the York community to ensure that this building remained a complementary asset. But we weren't just focused on the bricks and mortar, we were focused on the people inside. Tatiana, I know you had a chance to meet, but we worked closely with partners in higher ed like your college to marry 4-year degrees and hospitality major that your college has. But we recognize that's not a pathway for everyone. So this community created a hospitality certificate program. Tatiana is one of those graduates and is now working here at the Yorktown Hotel. And then finally, really with partners across this table, we've been able to focus on important needs like childcare. And this community has been able to raise millions of dollars to roll out several initiatives, not only to address access to quality, affordable childcare, but also growing the number of teachers in the childcare industry. It is the number one reason that employers cite in terms of absenteeism. So we need to do a better job, not just here in New York, but across the country, in addressing the needs for childcare. So I know that was a lot and a little, but really all of the work that we're doing is rooted in data. The work with the Philly Fed continues to pay measurable dividends, and it has continued to create new collaborative partnerships to focus on housing, to focus on our cultural arts sector, our outdoor economy. And we're just very grateful today for the spotlight that you're helping to shine and the work that will continue here forward.
What's up, guys? Yeah, so that wasn't anything like too impactful, but I'm just reading the chat and stuff. Sorry, I have this music playing. Oh shit! I'm gonna answer all the questions in a bit.
If you could speak to how households throughout your county are experiencing economic conditions.
She said, "How are households handling the situations?" I think it's very hard to hear them. important right now, to be honest with you. And it's very difficult for me to hear. Does anyone know if there's another place where I can watch this? Like another. Is this not on the Federal Reserve right now? No, it's not. Play it on my phone, bro. I got trades on my phone, bro. What am I supposed to do? Let's see, bro. It doesn't really sound different on the phone. It's just shitty audio. It's just shitty audio.
If I could also invite, we have great partners in our employers across York County. We're delighted to have with us today the largest employer in York County. Sharing with Chair President Parker, York County has a very diverse labor force, where about 18% is employed in advanced manufacturing. But closely on the heels is at 17% is healthcare, and that has certainly been growing and is represented today with the President and CEO of Wellspan Health, our county's largest employer in Central Pennsylvania, Ms. Roxanne Gapser. I was wondering, Roxanne, if you could speak to what are the public health conditions here in York County?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Kevin. Delighted to be here today. Thanks so much for being with us. Public health conditions in York County are underfunded and not big enough. And as you know, we just
There's not much impact on the price because they're not talking about anything like important right now, you know, so there's no decisions being made, truthfully, in my opinion. So
in the county of York is in York City, and they have less than 5 employees.
I'm doing another fitness challenge today, actually, in a couple hours.
I think it might be 2 or 3. And so what happened during the pandemic was that health systems really had
By the way, everyone that's watching, if you're not subscribed, please take 13 seconds to click subscribe, click like, and just, you know, do your due diligence, please. I'm about to provide a lot of resources for free, so, you know, I think it's a fair exchange. But yeah, I'm not going to give away any challenges today, actually. It's too late to I mean, I could do it, I guess, but let's see how the stream goes.
we had people from as far away as Philadelphia and Harrisburg signing up because we were very quick to get that out. In addition to that, we opened multiple open-air testing sites in the York County Fairgrounds here in York. We had a large testing site with 10 to 12 lanes for vehicles and traffic. So those are just a few of the things that we had to do. And I think the pandemic also showed us that long term we need to think differently about public health, and we need to think differently about health and human services and how we all work together, because it really takes a village during something like that. I will just mention a couple of other things about healthcare in the county. Certainly for our long-term care facilities, in those businesses, we are seeing, of course, the workforce issues, not just in healthcare systems, but in long-term care. And with the new staffing ratios that went into effect July 1st for long-term care in Pennsylvania, what we're seeing
Yes, I am in GJ right now.
Number one wages and number one GDP. So it was without doubt kind of the backbone of the Senate. On Mantech side, when we're working with manufacturers, we help them in sales and marketing, process improvement, manufacturing technology, and workforce. We like to say we help them top line, bottom line, pipeline. So we're working with them holistically in their businesses as they try to grow and thrive in those businesses. You heard some of the stats. I always like to say that if it's made, it's made here. We have one of the most highly diversified manufacturing bases. There's not an automotive industry that drives everything. There's not, if you pick an industry, we have life sciences, we have pharmaceuticals, we have vehicles and motorcycles right down the street. You know, if you name it, we are involved in it. That diversified base provides some protection in downtimes, which is wonderful. And it helps maintain us, which is a fantastic place to be. But the other thing we've been doing, in my opinion, is, and I think it's a huge challenge, I think of this in terms of land, labor, and capital, that whole economic framework. And for the past 20 years, I would say that the labor has been the only constraint that's existed among those. And the current environment with rising interest rates, there's certainly now constraints on the capital that we established in the tax land as well. But there's no doubt there's a constraint within capital. And the workforce we can talk about forever. There are so many partners at this table that can get into that. I'll stay on that lane. But when I look at my biggest concern in the region is we are lagging behind in investment of advanced technologies, automation, CMMC. You kind of pick that industry 4.0, and we're a little bit behind in those investments. And I think that is problematic on multiple levels. And even though there is a rising cost of capital, these investments have to be made because they're going to drive productivity. Productivity drives GDP, and GDP drives wages. So if you want to be able to have more career pathways that have pay scales that can afford healthcare and childcare and some of these other ancillary things, there is no doubt we need to have a highly productive workforce and a highly productive manufacturing sector. So that's, to me, the biggest constraint and area of concern that I see is our lack of adoption of technologies. And part of that diversified base, I think, is a little bit of why not. There isn't an automotive industry or an industry cluster that forces and drives that adoption of technology. So our manufacturers definitely need to make those investments. And even with rising interest rates, there's almost always ROI on those investments. There's no doubt. But the work is there, the return is there. It's just a matter of kind of stepping up. And look, I kind of believe we're potentially heading into kind of a post-Bretton Woods world, and we're going to see more and more nearshoring, onshoring. Those initiatives are going to be extensive, and we need to have a manufacturing sector that is ready to take on those challenges and provide a highly productive environment, and do it where they're competing on a worldwide stage. So historically, we made everything hundreds of years, and that's phenomenal. And I'm kind of an optimist. I mean, I'm wearing a black and gold tie today. I'm a Steeler fan, so that you have to have a ton of. So, while I see concerns, I'm highly optimistic. It's been an unbelievable, adaptable, and resilient sector for more than a century. So I believe, and that's the thing that every day I wake up, kind of the relentless pursuit of what keeps me going is to, keep talking to manufacturers, keep having understanding. The entrepreneurs that are starting or maintaining these businesses and growing them, they continually are trying to adapt and advance new.
All right, to be honest with you, I don't really think meeting is gonna be like really insightful. To be honest with you, I already recorded a breakdown video, like a market briefing video that you all can digest. I recorded it roughly an hour ago. And I kind of just broke down the week. It is NFP this week, so naturally, there's going to be some volatility. You're going to get some more data, some more insight into the economy, so that's always good, obviously, right? So yeah, we're going to get some gems here in the week, and that's going to help us, articulate what to expect going forward, right? So I think you guys should just watch the breakdown. It's not long. It's like maybe 10 or 15 minutes. You sold all the JPY pairs. Was there a fundamental reason? Personally, I'm expecting the yen, like basically the yen has to pivot, like the Bank of Japan. They have to pivot. They have too much inflation. Their currency is too weak. They're just, they're in a really bad spot. So right now, even though their currency is very low, like I'm expecting some type of pullback here and possibly a continuation. So let's see, I'm anticipating that they're going to step in eventually and raise rates or do some type of tightening, because they've been very much easing because of their bond market. You could look it up. Go look up the Bank of Japan bond crisis, and see and just educate yourself. Bonds and currencies are inversely correlated, right? So when bonds are strong, currency is weak with inflation. When currency is strong with deflation, bonds are weak. The yields of the bonds are weak, right? So you basically pick one or the other, type of thing. So right now, the Bank of Japan was prioritizing their bond market in order to devalue their currency. Their currency has been. This is when the crisis started. It was like late February, late February, early March of 2022, and then we had a real crash in the yen. And that's all to do with their bond market. So definitely educate yourself on that. Like, there's always a fundamental reason why I'm taking a trade. Like, I will never not take a trade with fundamentals correlated with it. Like, it's just not how I trade. And if you don't trade with people say, fundamentals doesn't work, news doesn't work, news is this, news is that. It's all bullshit. Like, if you don't understand the news and the macroeconomics, then you're literally trading blind. Like I say all the time, you can have your left eye and you can have your right eye, right, closed. You can still see out of your other eyes, but which vision is better? The one with the eye closed, one eye closed, or both eyes open? Type of thing. So you just need more clarity. The more you can see, the more information you can see, the more clarity you're gonna have, the better picture you're gonna have, the better outcome you're gonna have. So that's simple, that's really simple stuff. But yeah, as far as the speech goes, I don't see much going on here. So I'm going to continue to hold my positions here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Like, I don't really, what's my bias on DXY? Bullish, of course, bullish. Why would it not be bullish? It's been bullish. The rates are going up. Like, the dollar is the king right now. Dollar is king. It's going to continue. Dollar is going back to 114 for sure. Dollar is going back up here. At least 110 in the short term, but 114 is what I see dollar going. Like, the dollar is king. The dollar is leading the charge. We have the highest rates. We have, our economy is the most resilient. Like, most of the other economies have still really bad inflation. Like, they're all fucked. Everyone's fucked, but it's just a matter of who's less fucked, who's the least fucked, basically. So that's what it comes down to right now. But that's kind of like where I'm at with the markets right now. And I will be I'll be dropping that breakdown video on the in the Discord under the James Storms channel. And I just ran through things pretty quickly, but I think it's insightful. So who is the least fucked? Yeah, exactly. You trade blind. Listen, listen, the beauty of it is you can be successful without fundamentals. You could be successful without even looking at the chart. Like, honestly, I honestly believe that I could trade just by watching the news, like, not even looking at price. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to, like, I'd have to risk very small, and it would be like more like swing style positions. But I believe that I could trade without candlesticks, because if you understand the news, you know where the charts are going to go. Simple as that. It's the directional bias that gives you that fundamentals give you. So simple as that. Let me read some of the chat really quick. 2222. Any good promos for 100K accounts this month? I think we have one active promo right now. I'm not actually sure. Listen, if you don't have a barbell bar, then you can go to Planet Fitness. You can make a free day pass, like, for free. Just go to Planet Fitness, like, or somewhere. There's somewhere that has or LA Fitness. You can go for free. find a gym that you can make a guest pass and go for free and try it out. You know, that's what I would recommend. Simple as that. About to go trim some damn trees. I'm dialed in, my boy. Took the shorts. Yeah, I'm in the shorts, bro. I'm in these shorts, yeah. Bullish DXY, bearish gold. I mean, yeah, so the thing about gold is, look here. I have gold against the dollar. I have gold against the euro, and I have gold against the yen. Okay, so there's plenty of different cross pairs that you can trade it with. If you look at gold against the yen versus gold against the euro versus gold against the dollar, like all the charts are similar but different. Like, but when you're, look at how the XAU JPY is near the all-time high because of the yen is so weak, right? So a lot like long-term weakness. We have euro and we have dollar. So like the charts are all different. The dollar, you always want to pair something strong with something weak, right? A weak currency with a strong currency, a weak asset with a strong asset, whatever it is. You want to pair weak and strong, and you need to understand what's weak and what's strong and why. It's simple. As simple as that. It's really that. It really can be. Trading can be so simple sometimes. Like people make it so complicated where it's not that complicated. Like structure, price action, candlesticks, general understanding of news, and just trust in yourself and hold your trade. Like let your trade develop as it's supposed to. You're not supposed to meddle with the trade and freak out. Oh my God, it's pulling back. Oh, my profit, this, that. Like, okay, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares like that. Your trade is pulling back and you feel antsy about your trade. Like that's not what a skilled robotic trader is going to do. They're just going to make decisions based on the market and have a plan. They have to have a plan. If you started trading, how you'll learn fundamentals from zero tips? Forex Factory is a great resource. Go on all these things and click on everything and figure it out. From there, click on everything that it has to offer. Pretty much. I'm gonna turn this back on just so in case I'm missing anything. I don't know if I am, but.
The war in Europe, inflation, labor strife, price pressures, all those things keep coming and coming. And I'm just concerned that our companies at some point will pull back significantly. There's not kind of a period of time where you can catch up, take a breath, maybe make those investments in automation. So I think they've done very well and are very resilient, especially in our region. But there is a point at which that kind of runs out. Getting to that point. So thank you for coming today and for talking more.
This is a great point for us to pause. I want to thank you all for your comments. Before we open up for questions, we're going to take a brief break and adjust our mics so that everyone can hear us. I apologize for the microphone issue. And so we're just going to stay in our seats, and then we'll open it up to questions from the chair and president.
Teresa. Are they working? Okay.
Is that it or?
Okay, I think we're ready to go. Thank you for being so gracious, and thank you for your comments on economic conditions across the region. Those were really helpful.
Thank you for your, pardon me, for your comments. What's really striking about all of this to me is
Here we go, Daddy Jerome.
how important it is to
Here
have
we
a
go.
plan, and the fact that you have had a plan and have a plan. Many smaller cities and regions in the country have had a hard time, or having a hard time, especially, frankly, those that were manufacturing based. But you have, with your plan over many years, you've really focused on manufacturing as a base to build on, and it does seem to be working. I hear you about Tom, about the challenges and the uncertainty that we're facing this time. The other thing that comes, and I think there'll be a question at the end of this, but the other thing that comes out though is we're still coming through the other side of the pandemic, right? So particularly, Kim, the comments you were making, unemployment went so high, labor force participation went down, but now we're left with a very strong labor market, people coming back into the labor market. You've got people working from home.
For now, buddy, for now. Strong for now, buddy. Let's see on Friday, all right, Jerome?
Workers left the healthcare industry, and I think nationally, having a very hard time to find people. So the training of new healthcare and childcare people has to be tremendously important. You mentioned, both Bruce and Tom mentioned a lot of problems around great issues to face, but manufacturing with international competition, but just also supply chain issues and inflation. So what am I going to ask you as a question? I appreciated your comments, and I wonder if it feels like your plan enabled you to come through COVID better than you otherwise would have. That you actually have a plan in place, and that's what's very striking to me. I'll just open it for reactions to that.
I think it absolutely did, Chairman. And I think the other benefit that had was we had a plan in place when funding streams like CARES and Rescue came available. So we could immediately put to good use those dollars, get them out the door quick to those who most needed it. But it really did position the community well to leverage those dollars, utilize them, strategically deploy them, and then be in position now, even a couple years later, to start seeing other funding sources come available, things like whether it has been Bloom or Fiber. It put us in position to capitalize upon them, and unquestionably it has put us in a better position today, a couple years hence, to also then, not only continue the work that we're doing, but focus on the next challenges like the housing sector or childcare. So continue that, kind of collaborative and data-rich. I don't want to necessarily punt, but I also think, Tom, the work that the manufacturing community has done now for the federal TIDE program, having these plans in place and aligning all of our community partners and resources together has now put us in position to secure a very important federal designation as well.
Yeah, and based on kind of our regional partnerships and the region having a plan and working together, we were able to secure a $6.1 million project focused on workforce for the submarine industrial base for South Central PA. We have Pennsylvania's the state with the most number of critical shipbuilders in the country. The Navy's identified it. So they focused on Pennsylvania as a way to how can we increase production of those key assets in the Navy. And they've identified Pennsylvania to do that, applied some resources, and we were able to secure some workforce dollars to help focus on more machinists, more welders, more maintenance folks. And these are folks that will be training that are new to the industry. We're not going to be retraining existing folks. We need to bring that pool together to increase the number of folks that can get into the defense sector. So we just received that, so we'll be working on that as a region, leveraging our workforce assets, our local tech schools to do that. So it's an exciting thing based on the planning that worked.
So if I could follow up, on the planning, follow up with the chair, ask, what's the secret sauce, right? Why does it work here and it doesn't work other places? You don't have to criticize other places. Except maybe, my wife's family's all Steelers fans from Pittsburgh. So you can criticize them. That's it.
I want to mention the chair's affiliation with the Washington Commanders.
No, we don't have
It's a rough morning. I think sounds cliche or cheesy, but I think it's true. It is the partners and the people in this room and so many others that are putting that plan, to work. It's very much not a plan sitting on the shelf. I mean, it really is. Things like CARES came available, rescue funds came available. We've been able to procure, state and federal support for a variety of things. We didn't sit back and wait, for those funds to, dissipate or evaporate as they tend to do. Put them to good use right away. So I really do think it's the ability that we've had to align a lot of disparate parties and people and organizations, really for the kind of North Star that we've been after, which is just enhancing shared widespread prosperity in this community.
Just if I can echo that, so many smaller communities have really suffered from losing aspects of their manufacturing base, and you kind of made it a centerpiece of your strategy not to let that happen. It seems to be working. I get it that there are many, many obstacles to that, but it's pretty striking that this can be really at the heart of what you're doing here.
Can I ask you to illuminate a little bit more granular and ask about the digital project that you mentioned, kind of broadband, and broadband is now kind of critical to work, critical to school. Can you talk a little bit about the gaps that exist in terms of broadband access in the region and how it's impacting the economy?
Sure. Thank you, Teresa. We're a county of 450,000 population, 900 square miles. So it's a pretty geographically large county, an hour drive, hour plus, county line to county line. In 2020, when we were doing our economic plan, CARES funding became available. We, with support of our county government, were able to do a countywide connectivity study to really lend data to anecdote, right? We know if you're driving around and you lose cell service or you're in a pocket where it doesn't necessarily have broadband, we were able to get real objective data. So there are absolutely pockets of York County and rural York County that are upwards of 70% without federally defined high-speed internet. And in York County, it's really twofold. It's infrastructure in rural parts, and it's affordability and access in urban areas. So there are pockets in our York metro, in the city of York, or in Hanover Borough, where it's upwards of 50% don't have access to high-speed internet. So we've been trying to bridge the digital divide in York County, and again, through support with county government, through rescue and CARES funding, we've now have $27 million allocated. And in terms of a fun project that we didn't let sit on the shelf, we knew this existed. We did the county study with CARES funding, which was under a time crunch to spend. We opted to just build a middle mile network under a county asset, which is our Heritage Rail Trail. It's a 16-mile bike ped path that starts in the city and goes to the Maryland line. 40 years ago, the planners at the time buried conduit underneath it. It's a county park. It's owned by the county. We ran 16 miles of fiber underneath it, put up 2 wireless antennas, and are pushing out a free Wi-Fi signal. That was a proof of concept project that showed that we could do it. The county could own this asset. And now we're in a second phase where we're building out over 100 miles of middle mile fiber connecting parts of southern York County. So really Hanover to the Susquehanna River, Route 30 to Maryland, that the county will own, and then work with private operators to then serve as an ISP to better connect homes and businesses. That tackles the rural element of it. The urban affordability and access still exists, and in that our county government allocated $5 million to build a free basic need wireless network in the York Metro and the Hanover Metro area. That's underway, and that'll be up and running, hopefully in 2024. So it's not the type of network that a resident in the city might stream multiple devices or binge watch on Netflix. But if you need telehealth, if you need a virtual meeting, if your child needs to do virtual learning, it's a resource. And so, again, credit to having an economic plan that said this existed, doing further study to lend objectivity to anecdote, and then having resources available and having a host of partners, community organizations, and elected leaders that said, let's invest this wisely.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, Kim, I was very curious about, you talked about one side of the equation on child care. Obviously, the demand is very large. But what's driving the cost? Some of it also is availability of labor. Can you speak to that? I mean, what we hear in other places is it's just hard to find child care workers.
cost, again, for the individual families, everything is driving those costs, right? The cost for goods and services just to survive as a family is part of that. And for a family to decide what they are going to pay for, I think are some of those things that come into play. The cost to run an operation, obviously, is everything. I'll say the regulatory parts of it, staying compliant, having enough staff, the ratio, being mindful of making sure everyone is able and trained properly as well too. So we are very happy to be part of those sort of plans because childcare, you can't have manufacturing without having a means for the children or care for them as well too. So the leadership YCA to be inclusive with childcare is critical to this, and definitely thinking of those costs and those things that affect the family just to get by every day. We appreciate being part of the conversation and being in those studies.
I've often heard that childcare is the workforce behind the workforce, and I do think that's a true statement.
Indeed.
So thank you for those perspectives on economic conditions. If no one else has any other comments, I'm going to turn it to President Harper to move the conversation to our workforce.
Yeah, so we want to pivot to, that's what we were just talking about, workforce, and continue to talk about that. As you know, the Fed has a dual mandate, stable prices. We're working on that.
Yeah, Country Boy made is sitting next to the money printing machine. That's hilarious.
The chair may have a different view, but is obviously that everyone who wants a job can get a job. But then the flip side of from the employers, everyone who wants to fill a job can find an employee, right? So it's both. It's really both. So as we think about this and the kind of programs that are necessary to fulfill that mandate, it really needs outreach. We need to bring more people off the sidelines into the economy, more people working that in jobs where they thought they probably couldn't work, right? Or they didn't have the skills to work. It's starting to get more people into the right places with the skill sets they need to have those fulfilling careers. And for the employers then to have those employees who want those fulfilling careers and have the skills. So, we met with such a great person this morning, Tatiana, to my right, to talk about the program here, the hospitality training program, and how it really does meet that need of bringing people into the workforce. So I want to turn to you, Tatiana, and ask, how did you hear about it? And as you think about the program, what challenges did you have in finding employment before the program? And what's happened since?
Hi, everybody. My name's Tatiana. So I heard about the John Lambert training program through a small business program that I was doing through the YCA with Kevin and Sully. And that's kind of how I started doing the small business program, and then that's when I heard about the John Lambert program, which is a program that helps you, depending on which department that you're looking to go into. It could be either housekeeping or in the kitchen or front desk. It was a program to kind of help you start that journey on what to expect, what the employer is looking for. So I ended up taking each course that they had, so housekeeping, front desk, just kind of to get all those things under my belt. I knew it was something that I could take, whether it not be here at the Yorktown, it's something that I could have under my belt or in my resume that could help me in the future as well. But I ended up doing this program, and I got my certificates for each program that they offered, and I really think that it helped me get my foot in the door. I don't think without those certificates that I got, I would have had the opportunity that I do now. So I started here because of the training program. I did my interviews and I got my foot in the door. So I started here as a server in February. And I quickly worked my way up from everything. So I'm currently a manager, and I'm hoping to go into the sales and marketing department here with the hotel. And as far as any challenges, I was seeking employment, but I was kind of looking to also work for myself. That's why I got into the small business program first. So I don't know how difficult it would be to seek employment right now, but I know a few people that also applied to the hotel that didn't make it to an interview. So I think the John Lambert program definitely helped me start my way and my journey into the hotel. I don't think that without it I would, have the opportunity that I did today.
Yeah, it's a great program. We heard earlier that the program is named after an employee who worked here at the hotel for 60 years.
Yes.
I mean, what an amazing story, right? 60 years. So what a great testament to him, his family, and to the program. So let me turn to Keith. I mean, in your story at Harley.
So my name is Keith Forty, and I work with Harley Davidson. Been there just about a quarter of a century, which I find hard to believe. So about half the time they've been in New York. But I was a part of an employment readiness program as well. And what I lacked when I took a look at this motorcycle maker in the sky that was here in York is I can't be part of it. What that program did for me was give me the skills that I needed, the knowledge that I needed, and I think most importantly, the confidence. And that's confidence in that knowledge, confidence in those skills, and just straight up confidence to sit in a room and talk to a panel of people, which that was the first time I had ever done that, a 5-panel interview, and have the confidence to tell them why I would be a good fit for their organization. And without that program or that availability to strengthen the workforce and make sure that they can align with what manufacturers need, which the group over here does a great job of making sure we're aligning not only as a manufacturer, but as an employee base, as a labor pool. When we have that connection, that's where the magic happens.
So let me pivot to Jesse to talk a little bit about your work and what you're hearing and seeing with respect to workforce.
Yep. Thank you for the opportunity to share. We welcome you to York. We're proud of our community. And before I jump into the workforce, I just have to say, that's probably one of the things I'm most proud about is the collaborative nature of everyone around this room. And it truly is what makes this community so strong. We're transcending the real partisan fault lines that can divide us. Eagles, Steelers, Commanders. If we can get past that, we can do anything, right? But Harley, we have amazing training programs here at Yorktown. We've got community-based organizations in higher education and the business community. We were talking with President Harker before. What are the things that if a community can transcend, we can do some really great work? And it's getting past the two barriers of who gets the money and who gets the credit. And I think this community, I've been really proud around. It's not fighting for the money or the credit. It really is truly collaborative. I think, in talking about the workforce, I think the underlying element in the dual mandate that you all have is that full employment. And it's been well documented that one of the biggest barriers that we're facing right now, one of the key issues that most businesses are facing, both here in South Central Pennsylvania and across the country, is a lack of workforce, right? So as the CEO of the Workforce Development Board that serves an 8-county region here, which includes York, but also 7 other counties, it is our goal to invest in, evaluate, and advance high-impact workforce programs that drive economic mobility. We envision that this region can be a place where the opportunity for prosperity and growth exists for all people, both for job seekers and businesses. And so part of what we do as a workforce board is we're looking at those individuals who are on the sidelines. Right? So let's carry the NFL metaphor a little bit. Right? It's somebody who is not in the labor force. They're on the sidelines. They got their helmet, their pads ready to go, and they want to get into the game. So the Workforce Development Board, our mandate is to get those individuals the skills, knowledge, training, and education to get into the workforce to be productive members of our growing economic community. So what are some of the barriers that we see? As it's been well documented, the demographic droughts are difficult to reverse. An aging population across the country, low birth rates. Quick anecdote. This is my first day back from paternity leave. We just welcomed our 4th child a couple weeks ago. So we are doing our best to keep those birth rates as high as we possibly can, but it's going to take more than one family, right? So these are structural problems that are going to be challenging for us to navigate. So in a world in which there are structural limitations to the size of the workforce, that really is, not to borrow the term, but it's lower for longer in terms of the number of people in the workforce. How do we make that workforce more productive? And so the biggest barriers that we see is that really this should be a golden age for workers. When we consider that there are often more jobs available than there are available workforce, we're seeing that with rising wage pressure. This should be a golden age for workers. And so what is motivating workers, both here in New York and across the state and the country, is really pay, pathways, and purpose. And I would probably add a fourth one in there, the ability to pivot. So pay. What are the wages and what are the opportunity occupations, such as manufacturing and healthcare, that will be able to support my family, right? That family-sustaining wages. So we use a lot of that family-sustaining wage in MIT's living wage data to say, are these opportunity occupations that will really help workers find pay? Pathways. For some of our higher education folks, if we have a college graduate coming up in May, what's the likelihood that recent college graduate will need no more training, education, or professional development over the next 40 years of their career, right? Zero, right? So we need the opportunity to build really strong pathways. One thing that includes is the agility to be able to move and be nimble as there are changes in the labor market. I was thinking about, Bruce and Tom, your comments about manufacturing, 4.0 industry. How much will manufacturing change over the next 5, 10, 15 years with AI, automation, robotics? We need the pathways with our higher education and post-secondary partners to be able to build the agility into those pathways. And then purpose, right? Workers want to be a part of something bigger than to just be a cog in the wheel, right? I think about Harley and the incredible impact it's had on the community. So pay, pathways, purpose, and then that ability to pivot, right? To be able, over the next 40 years, to get the skills, knowledge, and ability to adapt with the changing times. Two other real quick comments here is, one of the things that we see is that, and we've noticed this, a barrier with workforce development, is that there's this unfortunate dichotomy of either college or career, right? And we see this with higher education. I'm sure seen this significantly, but even in parents and guardians, so this idea of my kid's going to college and that's the only pathway, right? It was 13th grade for me. That was just the next logical step. That I didn't know there were other options. But I would like to say that if we as a community can look at that instead of college or career, it's college and, right? The ability to source a skilled talent workforce both through bachelor's degrees and in what we have called skilled through alternative routes, or STARS. And this is an acronym that Opportunity at Work, which is a great organization, has really piloted. The skilled through alternative routes, apprenticeships, on-the-job training, co-op programs, career and technical education. There are many ways that we need to build a skilled workforce in alternative routes from bachelor's degrees. I'm the beneficiary of a bachelor's degree. I think many of us here are in this room. But in order for us to solve the underlying problem of not enough workers, we need to source this through alternative routes. Last thing I would say is we have some great industry partnership programs here. Tom and I have been working together for 7 or 8 years on a number of industry partnership programs, grant funded through the state, where we put employers at the center of the table, so to speak, and let employers drive the conversation around what they need, what's valuable, and what the skills, knowledge, and training is really valued in the market today. Then the economic development, workforce development boards, and higher education respond with that demand-driven approach. And I think that's a real best practice that we've done a great job of here in this region, and I think it's replicable across the country, to put employers at the center instead of the train and hope that those graduates can perform in the market. It's putting those employers at the table and saying, this is where we need to invest. So there's a lot there. I'm really excited, and I love your optimism, Bruce, about this region. My wife and I are transplants here. We moved here 12 years ago. We're just up north the road on 83 a little bit. This is home. This is a great place to live. It's a great place to work. It's a great place to raise a family. Great institutions, great businesses, low cost of living. So the story of South Central Pennsylvania, I think, will be...
I was muted. I was talking. I was sending some voice notes and stuff. So, What am I trading? I'm trading GJ and EJ.
At this point, speaking
GJ
of higher education
and
Harley,
EJ.
David,
I have to fix all my
a little bit about
shit.
the ecosystem that we've built here, a great group of partners.
I have to fix all my watch list.
So instrumental in driving this conversation.
I deleted my watch list by accident. I'm up 100 pips on EJ. Straight up 100 pips. 90, 99 pips, 98 pips.
I just moved here in 2019, so I'm not originally from York, but I found that York is a great place to live, work, and play, and a lot of it was that initial connection we made with York County Economic Alliance Council. So a few things that we've been able to partner with them for example, the job fairs. We participated in several of our job fairs at the York Revolution Stadium. We've been able to communicate that, again, Harley-Davidson, it's a brand name that everyone knows. We make the world's most desirable motorcycles. Everyone wants one, right? But a lot of people don't realize that some things we've done to respond to the market is you only have to have a high school diploma or GED or 1 year work experience anywhere. We will train you as a production technician employee. We have a 3-shift operation. We run pretty much 24 hours. We're a union shop, so we have a lot of great opportunities. And through partnerships, we've been able to share those opportunities. With us not being the only manufacturer, as we said here, in a lot of competition, we found that working together, not only with the Manufacturing Association, ManTech, the local colleges, but also the Penn Airs, the Bus Climate Control, RHI Magnesita, we found that we all need the same thing. So how can we work together and be collaborative in offering those opportunities to our employees? At Harley, we found that a lot of us needed welders, for example, in this organization. So we've been able to partner with the Manufacturing Association, with York County School of Technology for the past 4 years. We've been sending our internal employees for free training because of that to be welders, and that's been a successful internal career development program for us. We've also been partnering with the Manufacturing Association on our maintenance apprenticeship program. That is another topic when we get together in a lot of our conversations with other manufacturers. We're all looking for these same skill sets. So we've been able to work together to move forward with that. I know when you were mentioning about, college isn't the only option. I laugh all the time because my father worked 30 years in manufacturing, retired from there, but college was the only opportunity he ever discussed with me. So once I got into manufacturing, I was like, Dad, you never told me. Manufacturing is a great career. It's something that I want to make sure that I share. So with my children, I was able to say, this child, college was a fit, but this child, it wasn't. So we were able to talk through, and because of the partnerships I had, he was able to get his HVAC certification through the York County School of Technology Adult Education Program. So again, we have all of these great partnerships and opportunity. Another thing that with the Welcoming Workplace Initiative, that a lot of us were able to come together as partners to bring together conversations where you have these various organizations where we can talk about how York is a great place to work, live, and play. And it has become a consortium of conversation where you can get more information about making sure that...
I don't have any light in my room because I didn't sleep yet, and it's just like when the light comes in, it just like fucks. It just makes me feel weird. Pretty much.
Inclusive stakeholder management, it's who we are. But I'm still able to talk to a Penn Air, to Bus Climate Control, RHI Magnesita, to find out what are they offering. And businesses of all sizes have that opportunity where we can collaborate through the Welcoming Workplace Initiative. Some of the barriers I'll just add that, again, has been a great partnership for us.
Guys, just chill out. Just stop arguing in the chat. It really depends how I feel, bro. Like, what's going on? Like, I knew that the trades look good in London, so I was like, okay, I'm going to take London trades. And I'm like, well, there's news at 10 and 11, so I'm kind of, I'm holding the trade. So my schedule revolves around the markets. If there's activity and I need to be functional, then I'm there, But if not, like, for example, if these trades continue running how I expect them to, then I'm just going to stay up until roughly like 3-4 p.m. Get a nap. I have to pick my mother up from the airport. She's coming to stay with me for a couple of days. at 8 p.m. So I'm probably going to take like a 4-hour nap, pick her up, maybe get a bite to eat, and then go back to sleep and wake up for London at like 1 a.m. On average, how many hours a day do I sleep? I mean, it really depends. Like I said, sometimes I don't sleep in the whole 24 hours. Sometimes I sleep for 12 hours. Like it's very sporadic for sure.
And it's lovely to be at a place that is interdependent and collaborative and cooperative. As Dimitri said, part of what we all need to work on is the idea of attracting and retaining talent. And part of the higher education portfolio that David and I work in is really helping to attract people into our community, helping train them, and helping them stay here. So for the college, it starts with a program called YCOSP. It focuses on students who are at William Penn High School, which is here in New York City, and is an opportunity for, regardless of financial circumstances, chance for students to come to college with all their expenses covered. And it is meant to give them an opportunity to engage in higher education, if that's what they want to do, to change their potential and opportunities here in New York, but also to change the pathway their families are on. And so it's a wonderful opportunity to bring people in and help them find their place and their purpose, and then help them develop skills and opportunities that will make this a richer workforce area.
Do I ever feel fatigued? Of course I feel fatigued. Like, it's one of my most terrible habits, unhealthy habits, is sacrificing sleep. Like, I hate doing it, but is really no like alternative for me. Like, you know, so I just suck it up and move forward. You know, I get my sleep when I get my sleep, and you know, there will be a day where I won't have to be so hands-on and doing what I'm doing, but right now that's not today. You know, I'm young and I'm fit and I'm able, and that's what I'm going to do because that's what it requires me to do.
Job development for our students, and so we spend a fair amount of time focusing on real practical, hands-on education at York College. So we're heavily invested in internships and co-ops and study abroad, and an opportunity that the Yorktown, where we are all meeting, has provided us as a community hotel was an opportunity for our students during the development, the construction, and really the operation of this entity is to bring our students into those conversations and have them sit with the people who do the work and do the business, learn alongside them, and then ultimately see this as a career opportunity for them. And so we have many graduates recently who have come on to work at the Yorktown as part of that process. Right outside these windows, you can look across the street and see the Gunter Smith Center for Community Engagement, named after my predecessor. But we put in the center of the city a location that brings together community organizations, nonprofits, provides training and conversation partners to help make sure that as a community we are discussing the important topics that matter to all of our success. And so these are conversations around group violence intervention and other opportunities where we can bring the shareholders, the stakeholders together, talk about the issue, and then develop solutions together, because together we're going to do this well. If we do it as a separate entity, it doesn't work. And so you've heard that around this table all morning. And then last but not least for us is the importance of taking the concept of career and professional development into the development opportunities. So the J.D. Brown Center for Entrepreneurship is our incubator for new entities who want to establish new businesses in the York County area, but then it transcends itself into a place that we've developed called the Knowledge Park. So the Knowledge Park is sort of the next step for those incubated companies where we've built a facility right next to the college where we bring in our business partners who want to work with the college faculty and college students and college staff to help create and develop new ideas that then can either form new companies, new jobs, new opportunities, but it serves as a second stage incubator. Our partners at Wellspan are also developing a production facility. They're a well-established company but they need more space. So we can provide that space, but also an opportunity to collaborate with our scientists, our engineers, our communication specialists to develop training and opportunities for their faculty and their staff. And so what we see ourselves, David and I, are as places that can incubate, attract, retain, and develop new ideas. And I think David's going to spend a little time talking about the Launchbox program that Penn State York developed.
Thank you, Thomas. My name is David Christensen. I'm the Chancellor at Penn State York, and I welcome you here to the York community, Thomas. I look forward to working with you as a partner. Penn State University was founded in 1855, and in 1863 it took on a mission of being a land-grant university. What essentially that boils down to is it accepted the responsibility of driving economic prosperity. Historically, that has taken the form of students in classes, preparing a workforce for the future. But a profound change took place about 9 years ago when a previous president, Eric Barron, created the mission of the Launch Box at Penn State University. The Launch Box is the notion that we bring our expertise outside of our university community and into the surrounding community to engage with individuals who were not Penn State students. So he was very interested in tech transfer. It started, first of all, at University Park, but extended to all of the 20 Commonwealth campuses. We were the last campus of the 20 to get a launch box here at York, and that was just 2 years ago during COVID. So each of the launch boxes adapts to the local needs of its community. So for instance, in Erie, there's a focus on manufacturing, and so advanced manufacturing is the focus of their launch box. Here, there was a rich ecosystem of entrepreneurial resources already. We felt the area that was most underserved was early stage entrepreneurship. So working with individuals on proof of concept, developing prototypes of products, proof of relevance, customer discovery, minimum viable products, and so on. This was before the Bloom Business Empowerment Center started, and it is a very similar mission, and we look forward to working with partners just like that. Oftentimes, we find individuals who are at a different stage of their entrepreneurial development, and we'll send them to the different resources in the area. One example that I could give you of work that has been done was, incidentally, a Penn State York business student, an individual who wanted to create a bisexual dating app. There was Grindr, there was Tinder for other communities, but there was nothing for bisexual dating. So she came up with the idea of Binder, B-I-N-D-R. And you can actually download it right now if you want to. She came up with the idea. She worked with our Launchbox community, a couple faculty members who shared their expertise. We connected her with a local IT individual, and now they've created this app, and it's doing very well, and it's getting a lot of notice. So the Penn State York Launchbox is great. We are part of this community of launch boxes throughout Penn State, throughout the community. We're a portal to other resources throughout the university. Now, you might be familiar with the Brookings Institute study a couple of years ago looking at technology transfer within Pennsylvania. And they looked at the universities, they looked at the ratio of research expenditures and patents, and Penn State University was not performing very well. We do have $1 billion annually in research expenditures, but about 95% of that is located.
This fucking sucks what they're talking about. Like, I don't even know whether it's... I can't even listen to this.
Felt that we could be using the launch boxes as this connection to the greater university resources. The challenges we have is making that connections because the launch box initiative is something new. We don't have the resources, we don't have the expertise of the faculty, but we need to figure out a way to make this system work more efficiently. So finally, I'd like to also mention that in addition to the launch box, we do focus on developing skills within our own students outside of the the academic skills you get within a major. We focus on helping students get ready for the professional workplace through training on innovative thinking, resilience, emotional intelligence, and so on. So we're very proud of these innovative programs, and frankly, I think this is one of the ways that Penn State York does contribute most to the greater York community.
Once again, I find myself wanting to comment, but so this is it's really the word that comes to mind is mindful. How mindful all of this is, the focus on developing people, developing opportunities for them. Jesse, you pointed out that it should be a great things like broadly over the country, people are looking to find more people and getting them into the labor market, including visiting prisons and starting to work with people a year before they get out. So, and actually it turns out that as an expansion gets longer and longer, more and more of the wage gains actually go to people at the lower end of the wage spectrum. So these are really beneficial things. To have that, though, the record is also clear that we need price stability. Price stability is just a critical piece of bedrock for the overall economy over the years. So, and that's why we're very focused on restoring price stability and having it over a long period. But again, this is a great time, and many of the programs that we also hear wherever you go in the country, where there are entrepreneurship programs, and what you characterized as what was the program? You had a nice description of that would enable you to work. Employee readiness program. Yeah, those really do seem to work and pay off, and this is a message that obviously it seems you and York have gotten long ago, and so it's very encouraging.
Yeah, I would just add to that I think about the collaboration you have that you're describing. You wonder, it's very difficult for very large cities to do this. Small cities don't have scale. You seem to have kind of a sweet spot. Am I seeing that right?
Yes.
It's unusual. I mean, you're just about the right size, right? You're that one bed in the story. It's just about the right size where you know each other. You can work together. Whereas in larger urban areas, it's a little tougher. That really struck me.
The point Keith made earlier about just being aware that he could get a job at a brand corporation like Harley-Davidson. Jesse, can you talk a little bit about how city residents become aware of some of the programming opportunities, some of the job opportunities in manufacturing? What's that connection point for a typical worker?
Yeah, how do you break down that view that these are not jobs I want my child to have?
Yeah, that's a great question too. Just to answer that real quickly. So, and this is anecdotal, but I think over the past 10 or 15 years, we've seen a market change. That pendulum was swinging to four-year degree and or bust. And I think it has to some degree, and I'm looking around for some confirmation, that I think it's come back to at least a little bit of a stasis around there are other ways. I still think that the sensibilities and the dichotomy, I think, of parents who want four-year degrees is still a hard thing to break. With regards to job seekers across York City and York County, I think it really does take a productive network of businesses and community-based organizations, economic development and workforce development boards to be out in the community. So, for instance, the workforce development boards are authorized under the Workforce Investment and Opportunity Act to run American Job Centers. Historically, we have just had American Job Centers in one building and say, job seekers come to us. For the past couple years, I think it was motivated a lot by the pandemic. It's let's build community access points in 24 or so places across York City, in rural areas, and let's go to where the job seekers are. And one thing I'll say is that when we talk about those that are on the sidelines, another demographic that we keep our eye on is the ALICE population, right? The asset limited, income constrained, employed. Well, if those individuals are working, they probably aren't.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be addressing all of this. Like I know you guys are talking about Cy in the chat. Like Cy is a liar. Cy is a scammer. Cy is a fucking, he's just a liar, bro. Everything that's ever come out of that kid's mouth is just a lie. And you'll catch him in it and you'll present evidence to him and he'll just make up more lies. He just will never admit it. He has no integrity, simple as that. So that's why he's not a part of the company anymore. He's never made any money trading. He's never made money trading, I promise you.
Area we want to pivot to, I want to be cognizant of the time, is really around access to capital. This came up in a couple of places, access to capital. The Fed has been really grateful for the work we've been able to do with all of you through our 2021 Rock Cohort program in working on this issue. And I know, David, you mentioned Floyd's work at the Boone Business Empowerment Center. So could you
mentioned, really, we are so thankful for the relationship with the Federal Reserve banks and the opportunity to be part of the Reinventing Our Communities initiative in 2021, focused on small business recovery. And we were so amazed, and we took so much from that program that we applied again in 2022 on the workforce initiatives. So we're going for the punch card effect. So hopefully the next one will be continuing the relationship.
Yeah, that one for you.
Okay, thank you. But really, the opportunity to be part of that program and connect with communities across the country that are similar in size, similar challenges, really be able to share some of those best practices and establish the relationships where at any point, really the sense of camaraderie and, as we're all talking about today, collaboration. It's not just in York, it's not just in central Pennsylvania, but across our country and really supporting to drive that economic change. So through the ROC cohort in 2021, which coincided with the implementation of our county's economic action plan, we had great data in front of us that showed that York County lagged the business birth rate when it came to women, individuals of color, and our other underserved populations. So looking at the opportunities to come from that, of where can we really put our resources, continue that collaboration, not just on workforce, not just on housing or childcare, but again on the sense of entrepreneurship, because many of our entrepreneurs, many in this group that you'll get to hear from, all have a sense of passion and desire to help their community. So how can we empower them? Through our Bloom Business Empowerment Center, where we've been able to offer, we launched officially in February of last year, and through that have been able to offer free educational for entrepreneurs in English and Spanish at a local community center, Christmas Attics that we shared earlier, where we connected with Tatiana, who then was able to take the Johnny Lambert hospitality training courses and really help that be an opportunity to grow the awareness in the community. Through that, we've also been able to award, be a source for capital when we're looking at emergency needs that a business may have, whether it's not enough to go and pursue capital by way of a loan, but where's that emergency fund? So through the classes, we're helping entrepreneurs be financially ready to pursue that step into entrepreneurship and plan, but also support them through our Bloom grants, which are micro grants to support emergency needs, marketing projects, and for any other larger needs. We are incredibly thankful to be able to partner with the state and deploy their SSBCI funds, as well as our own Bloom funds to provide our loans, which are available starting at 4.5% to entrepreneurs that are startup or that are existing, looking to scale in a variety of amount ranges, and really being that resource where the entrepreneurs are part of that process. We are providing the education, we are providing all of the information up front so they know what they are getting into, but also know that Bloom is not just a resource when they are in need of some other opportunity. Certainly through the pandemic, we learned when we were able to deploy nearly $30 million in COVID relief funding to entrepreneurs and nonprofits that we didn't just want to be a reactive resource. We wanted to continue that relationship and continue to empower our entrepreneurs. So we're incredibly thankful to be working towards our CDFI designation in the future. And speaking of the great entrepreneurs here in the room, I would love to turn it over to Michelle from Lexington.
Yeah, let's not make the chat like about other people. Like I will be addressing everything, so don't worry about that. Like, you know, it's just not the place for it. Like let's not involve Fortunes Funding in something that's like to do with other people, please. You know.
Yesterday, October 1st, made 8 years being a business owner in York is definitely taught me so much, especially back in 2020 when everything was closed. I had to close my business due to the pandemic like everyone else. But also during that time, a month after we were closed, I endured a fire at the building. So I also had to pivot through those things, and that was very challenging for me. So going without, going from a 2-income household to now a 1-income household was definitely a struggle. but through that, we have definitely made it, we've overcome. And I think I could speak for every entrepreneur out here that, it's not about where we are, but where we're going, and just the tenacity that we have to keep going in spite of the challenges that are ahead of us or that we face today. And with that, I decided to do a ribbon cutting when I reopened my business, and Bloom and Downtown Inc. have been just a great resource for me and my business. It has opened up many doors and opportunities for me. I have been able to be at a platform such as this today, and other things that I have had the privilege and honor of speaking with other people like entrepreneurs such as myself. I do believe that working capital is very important for entrepreneurs just like me, because it helps us to be able to create jobs and opportunity for people and businesses, and also being able to survive, and being able to continue to have like products and that nature. Just recently, I had a client call me and tell me that unfortunately, because she normally comes every 2 weeks, that she will no longer be able to come as often as she could because of inflation and prices and different things like that. So it's been a challenge for her to be able
Wow, I can't believe that this is still going on, man. Fuck. How long have I been trading? I've been trading 6. I mean, no, it's not even that it's going over your head. It's just they're not talking about, like, they're talking about very small things. Like the fact that Jerome is here, sitting here, like, wait, I don't know. They're just talking about bullshit, honestly.
business plan, thank you. But just being able to have access to capital will really, really help me to be able to propel my business to the next level.
Yo, if you need capital, homegirl, you can hit up Fortunes Funding. Let me know. I got some capital for you. Just pass this challenge real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna share my thoughts in a bit. Bro, GJ and EJ just like fucking ripped, bro. Like, fuck. Holy shit. I'm up 100 pips. They're just talking about small shit, like literally small shit. Like it's. This shit is retarded. Yeah, I'm up 66,000. Come on, Jerome's got to print more money, bro. You're slowing down the printers. Slowing down the inflation. Huh? Yeah, GJ is a ripper, man. Like, this is a great trade. Great trade. Well, that's it. I guess that's it. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go over some stuff. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, then I don't love you. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to Fortunes Funding YouTube. Please, please, please. Thank you. Click the thumbs up. Thank you. All right. I don't even know what the fuck they just talked about, to be honest with you. That was really just a waste of all of our time. But pretty much what I'm looking at for this week is there's AUD news, Jolt's job openings is tomorrow. There's a lot of jobs data, this week, so that'll be insightful. Like I said before, like it's really coming down to when is the recession going to start to hit, like, and what are the telltale signs of that happening, basically. So obviously, stock markets are going to fall. Then you're going to see, labor start to tighten up, which is already starting to happen. You're going to see unemployment go up. You're going to see performance, degrade in terms of like all these surveys, anything PMI, all these PMI things. This is all purchasing managers index or purchasing manufacturer PMI. Where is it? Purchasing managers index. Yeah, so it's just a survey. It's a survey. They ask a bunch of people, hey, how are the conditions? How are this? How are that? Whatever. So it's just a general survey. But you're going to start to see all these things start to slow down. The economy. This is the goal, like of what we're doing, is to slow everything down and get ahead of inflation. Get under its skin. Bringing inflation down is a slow, difficult process. Like, it's not easy. So it's just going to take time, and there's going to be a lot more pain on the horizon, in my opinion. GJ's ripping, so I'm happy about that. That's for sure. Making new lows. So literally a straight up 100 pip drop. It's lit. Euro JPY 105 pips and counting. So I mean, I saw this coming. Like, I've explained this over and over and over again. Like, the yen is a little tricky. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this is something that I've just have with experience, and like I'm able to kind of anticipate, like, because I really do believe the yen is going to strengthen heavily. Like, they basically have to. Like, that's the way I look at it. Is if they continue down the path of inflation that they're going, it's going to be a very, very bad thing for them. So at a certain point, they have to get under inflation's skin. And all the other central banks raising rates only puts more pressure on the yen, because if all the other central banks are raising their rates and the yen is keeping their rates negative, it just makes the yen very unattractive for an investor, because you're paying when you have cash. Right now the dollar is king because interest is high. Like, having cash is valuable because you can loan it out and make a lot of money with it. That's what interest is, right? So the yen has negative interest. So if you're holding yen, it means that you have to pay like interest, basically. What's your opinion on ICT or smart money concepts? I don't really know. Like, I've never studied them. Like, I know, a little like liquidity grabs and stuff like that, but like that's really like not smart money concepts. That's just been around for a while. Like, that's just general shit. Like that shit has been around for a minute. So, yeah, like, I mean, it's all cool. Like, it's all different ways of looking at the same shit. It's really not like, it's not rocket science, bro. It's up or down. Simple as that. Is it going up or is it going down, and why? If the why is the most important, obviously, what are your reasons? Like, that's what you need to focus on as a trader. What are my reasons for this trade? How many reasons can I list on this trade? What's the fundamental reason? What's the economics like? Who's strong? Who's weak? What's the data? Like, that's what trading comes down to for me. It's all data. It's numbers and data. It's a video game. Like, I see they got a lot of troops and they're strong and their base is weak and this. It's like, who's gonna battle? We're all battling here. So like, who's gonna come out on top? That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. So, yeah, I'm gonna continue to manage these positions. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm gonna get a nice pump in, and yeah, I'm up $71,000. So like, it's gonna be a great fucking day. Like, that's for sure. I don't need sleep. I just need to watch these trades. No, there's no giveaway today. I have a few giveaways to catch up on. So if you want to go check giveaways, you can go catch up on a few of them. Yeah, don't you know? That song is funny. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. I appreciate all 53 of you that are watching. A little bit of a more intimate crowd today. Let me read the Zoom chat because I haven't been reading the chat. What do I think about BTC sells? Yeah, BTC sells are definitely lit. Is there a new chat? Yeah, there is a new chat. A lot of you DM'd me. I'm sorry. I just got overwhelmed. I onboarded some people, but I didn't get all the lifetime members, so I apologize for that. I will take care of all of you. I promise. I didn't even get to call this GJ trade, and like, by the time with GJ, this is what happened. All right, let me break down the trade. I broke it down in the breakdown video that I'm gonna post, but it's very simple. Okay, you guys know I trade supply and demand. So actually, I don't want to delete all that. I just want to delete some of it. Okay, so you guys know I trade supply and demand, right? So for the most part. So we have a weekly supply in this candle that broke the low. We can see a dynamic level of support and resistance here, right? We have resistance, 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 breaks above, support, 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 breaks below, resistance, 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 right? So that's dynamic key levels, whatever you want to call it. I call it dynamic price because when it's above, it's support. When it's below, it's resistance, okay? Now, this is a weekly supply zone. I'm not going to give away too much sauce, but like, just look up supply and demand. You can figure it out the same way I fucking figured it out. Taught myself a lot of this shit, like the things that I look for. Everyone does it differently, so like, there's just different ways of looking at it, but basically, yeah, price came into this weekly supply. Overall, it created a new low, bearish momentum. Price was rejecting this supply, and simple as that. It just broke at the open of the session. I always wait for the session time to start to kick in. So London session, 3 a.m. right here. Started getting some bearish movement, and then finally we got a lower low, a lower high. I actually wanted to enter here, which was where I was initially looking to enter, but it just went too quickly for me. It spiked down really fast, and then this is when I took my entries here, and this is where I wanted to call the signal for the group. But unfortunately I just didn't, I felt like it was extra risk, to be honest with you. Sometimes it's different, like risking my own money, but when I know that there's somebody else that's going to copy my trade, I treat it a little bit differently. Like I have a lot more respect Like, not that I don't respect my own money, but I respect someone else's money more than my own, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, I took some, after I pulled back here, I took these re-entries here, and the rest is history. And we're just going to continue to hold because that's what the chart is telling us to do. The daily candle is just savage daily candle. Yeah, honestly, I think the next target could be about 180.5 if we know when and if we can clear all these wicks here, and then beyond that we're looking at like somewhere in this region here, 177-ish. I don't even know how it could. Shit, who the fuck knows, to be honest with you right now. So can you just do a mass invite? It's not that simple. Like, I don't know who do I invite? You know, like, I don't have everyone onboarded. I have different people from different places, and this person sent me Venmo, and this person sent me Cash App, and I've been, you know, like, I've done lifetime signals since 2020. So like, it's very sporadic, and unfortunately, like, I'm the only one that can do it. I can't just give my, you know, an assistant like a task to like, hey, do this. Like, it's not that simple. So like, it just requires more legwork, and unfortunately, like, I wish I had a better solution for you. Like, you will be taken care of. It's just a matter of you know, just doing that task, you know. But there's a lot of people involved. Like, I onboarded a lot of people, but it's just not everybody, you know, unfortunately. So I understand. I'm gonna try to take care of it today. I haven't slept. I'm trading, you know, like, I gotta pick my mom up from the airport. Like, I have a meeting. Like, I have a lot of shit to do. So it's not, you know, I'm not going to say it's not a priority, but it's not the highest priority right now. But I will put some time in it. Just message me on Telegram right now. I'll get you in the chat. You know, I'll get you. Just ping me on Telegram. Like, I have 2,300 unread messages on Telegram, so it gets a little shiesty on Telegram for me. You know, so unfortunately, I'm sorry. Like, I try my best with it, but you know, I'm one human being. So, but I will take care of you. I promise you. No, I understand. Trust me. Like, you paid for a service, and you want just to continue having the service fulfilled for you. Like, you're not wrong at all for saying what you're saying. Like, I completely hear you. So just shoot me on Telegram, and everyone that needs to get in, just message me. It's a bunch of people, obviously. So BTC outlook, yeah, like, it's looking bearish. It's looking bearish. Yeah. All right. Let me read the YouTube chat again really quick. But yeah, that trade was very simple. Like I said, supply and demand, boom, 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 came in, price created a lower high. We had this big, I mean, just look like a dynamic area, support and resistance, support, break below. Retest as resistance, break below, retest as resistance. Like, I'm assuming that the only thing left to the piece of this puzzle is the Bank of Japan saying, hey, we're going to raise interest rates, or we're going to change our yield curve, or we're going to do this or do that. Like, that's the last part of this puzzle that makes this chart go, whew, like, right when they did this, when GJ did this, that's when they started, you know, having rumors about it. So again, we're kind of in that same area. If you look left, you can even see, like, almost like right around here, like that 182,500 area, which is exactly where I sold out of. You could see price was right here, 182,500, like right around this area before it made this big move down. So could it be making another push down to here, or even down to here is possible? Like, I always look at the past to predict the future. That's what I do, like, every time pretty much. Okay, well, what did it do in the past, and how could it materialize in the future at this point? Simple as that. But yeah, all right, guys. I'll read over the chat one last time. Yeah, I mean, I have risked my life savings, but like, fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't have to do that anymore. But I definitely, I have risk appetite for sure. I have risk appetite without a doubt. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I appreciate all of you. Oh shit, is Powell speaking? They still got the camera on Powell, just like chopping it up. He's like, oh, I just printed all this money, and I don't know, like, inflation became 9%. Like, nah, just fucking with him. Jerome's a good guy, actually. I actually like Jerome, honestly. Like, I don't think he's like I don't think he has bad intentions, honestly. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. with Country Boy. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I appreciate all of you again. I will continue to monitor and do my thing. Yeah, I got you, Oscar. You know, I take care of people, bro. Like, I take care of people. But yeah, everyone have a fantastic rest of your day. Fucking seize the day. Go to the gym. Eat some food. Have something healthy. Eat some fruit, some juice. Like, what, you know, tell your family you love them. Like, do something fulfilling. You know, like, just get better. Just grow. Like, you know, that's what it's all about. It's not about anything else. Like, it's really just about getting better and growing and being the best version of yourself and being uncomfortable and all those things. But yeah, everyone, have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you all soon. My hiring Discord mods, not right now, but you can message me on Discord with your resume and everything, and I'll just keep it in the, like, I have a lot of people that are interested, so